You're listening to the Timeslides program. You're on 2RRR 88.5 FM. It's great to be back. I'm Natalie. Now, as promised, I said that we were going to be doing a phone interview, and which is a bit unusual because normally when I've had Richard from MARC WITH A SEA on the show, he's normally been here in the studio. So this is a bit of a different one. But Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
No, it's a bit unusual for us to be doing it this way, isn't it?
It is, yes. Just the way things worked out. Just having a very short break up to the Central Coast with the family. So.
Well, I hope you're having a nice time, although it's not really nice weather, is it? So.
No, I was hoping to get out for a surf this morning, but driving rain and southerlies changed plans, but hopefully tomorrow morning.
I think the weather's meant to be nice tomorrow, so anyway, but I hope you're having a nice weekend away, and happy 50th, because I know it was your 50th birthday a couple of weeks ago.
That's right, yeah, thank you very much.
So yeah, welcome to the 50 Club.
Yes.
You've made it. You're older and wiser now.
Yes, that's right.
Now, you've been on the show a few times, yourself and Mark. MARC WITH A SEA is your band name, and we should mention that's MARC with a C, SEA, just to make it really clear for everybody.
Yes.
But yeah, so welcome to the show. It's great to have you on, even though it's phone interview. I am used to sitting across here from the studio with you, but we're excited because you've got you've just today. Your debut album has been released. Debut EP.
Yeah, EP. Yeah. I mean, I guess in this day and age, when you're doing it all yourself, it's kind of completely arbitrary when you actually release it. But I figured, we'd sort of upload it, make it live, a couple of weeks or a few weeks out from the gig, and then I thought, well, I'm coming on the radio today, so we did it. So we did it on Friday, yesterday.
Cool. Well, especially for my show, I feel really privileged.
Yeah. You've got the exclusive.
I got the exclusive.
Yeah, so it's on our Bandcamp page,
yes,
and on Spotify and iTunes, and and we'll also you can buy a digital version on Bandcamp. We've got some CDs we're getting made. They're not ready just yet, but when they're ready, you'll be able to buy one off Bandcamp, or we'll be selling them at the gig. Yeah,
you're gonna have some CDs. Yeah, I know everything's sort of
the 11th of May. Yeah.
Yeah, so 11th of May at Mosh Pit from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock slot. Yeah.
Well, because us oldies, us over 50s, we need to have afternoon gigs now. We can't really do the nighttime gigs.
Yeah, I know. The days is starting at 10 or something. I can forget about that. Yeah.
But tell us about the album. You guys must be really excited that it's finally released and out there, and you can say you've released an album, you've released an EP. That must be so exciting.
We sort of cheated a little bit, I guess, because it's the combination of two lots of recording. I think it was 2022 we recorded 3 tracks, or 4 in total. We had an alternate take of one of the tracks. And so we just for the sake of people hearing what we sounded like, we put that up on Spotify and Bandcamp. And so there's 3 tracks there, or maybe 4. So we kind of called that an EP, but it wasn't really. It was just a sample of who we are. And it enabled us to give that music to your good self and Kevin and others to play on the radio. So then last year we recorded 3 more tracks, and we decided we put them together. In this day and age, it doesn't really matter whether it's an EP or an LP. I don't know. It doesn't. It's just a bunch of songs really. So so we just called it an EP, and called it Modern Age after one of the tracks on there, which was one of the first lot that we recorded. So that has been out and about for a while.
And why did you name it? Why did you name the album Modern Age? I mean, there's 7 tracks. I mean, was there something about that song, or does that song represent something to the band, or?
Not necessarily. Look, I think it was really my suggestion because we just happened to have one of Mark's, the songwriter, a friend of his created a really cool animated video for that song. So I said, well, maybe we'll make that the name, and because we've got a video, which has been out and about for a while, but I think I'll share the link around on our socials again. It's a really cool video. It's quite interesting seeing yourself sort of animated in a music video. It was quite strange. So So yeah, we just called it Modern Age, and we've got so we got the combination of the earlier tracks plus the last three that we did last year, and yeah, it's an interesting sort of collection of a good sort of representation of where we're at, and yeah, like a nice mix of old and new songs, and yeah, so we're very happy with it.
And how did you guys find the process of recording an album? I imagine it's a bit of a, I don't know, hard slog, but I guess there's a lot of work that goes into making an album, putting an album together.
Yeah. Well, I guess we had the advantage of we've always got material around. Like I think at last count we've probably got, I don't know, 21, 22 originals, and Mark's constantly writing. I mean, he's got he's got a suitcase of songs that he hasn't even presented to us yet from years ago, and he's writing all the time. So we always have material there. It's not like we're ever under pressure to write something because we're recording. We've never had that sort of problem.
Yeah.
So we've recorded it with a place called Song Cave up in Lawson in the Blue Mountains, and so it hasn't been too bad. I mean, the first time, that was my first proper professional recording. So that was quite nerve-wracking, but I managed to get my bass parts down pretty quickly, and I was happy with that. So I mean, from my point of view, a lot of it happens when I'm not there. I go and with Marty, the drummer, and put the rhythm parts down, and the vocals and some of the guitars and lead breaks and stuff are done at another time. So yeah, so it's not like a bunch of people in a like the professionals, they're in a chalet.
Yeah.
I think it's up the wall for months at a time.
You weren't at some French chateau recording in some, amazing studio. You were just, But it still must be fun. Like, I'm not a musician, but it sounds like it's hard work, I imagine, but it must be a lot of fun being creative and putting something together, and then seeing the end seeing that you've got an end product, you've got an album out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really interesting to just to be part of that, and very satisfying when you when you get the final tracks through and give them a listen, and it's really good.
And so tell us about some of the songs on the, I mean, there's 7 songs, so how did you sort of decide which 7, or did you all decide equally, or did Mark, being the lead singer and main songwriter, did he be like, this is what I want on the album, or was it a bit of a democratic, this is what we think it should be?
Look, it's very democratic, and I mean, I should say, Mark financed the recording, so I was obviously, hey, whatever you want. Right? But it was, generally just a matter of trying to find a range of songs that kind of display the different things that we do, because we do have a bit of variety in what we do there. Not hugely, but we do go off in a few different directions. So you obviously want to have a good representation of the different things that you do. So so from memory, in light of the songs we already had, Mark made a suggestion about which songs we should do next, and we might have had a discussion about it. I can't really remember, but they're a good representation of. There's a couple of older ones there, and one song which at the time was a kind of a new one, but it's been around a couple of years now. So yeah. And
so now that you've done, you've got this one album out, are you sort of preparing for the next one and thinking, all right, let's put another one out next year? Or, I mean, are you going to start writing and doing some, I know you've talked about it before, that maybe you'll do a few songs. I mean, maybe put some songs out for the next one, or?
I think I'm too lazy. And I've said many times, I mean, Mark writes great songs. I really like them, so I'm very happy. I really enjoy, just as a bass player, putting my bass parts to them and sort of seeing them come to life. I don't have any great screaming sort of urge to go out and write my own, although I have lots of ideas. I just never get around to putting them down. So who knows? That might change. But yeah, we've had a quick discussion, and because we're doing a short run of CDs, because it it feels like it sort of legitimises the whole thing. But then of course not many people have CD players anymore. So we thought, what, maybe we just sort of touched on it, but I think maybe we might do a 7-inch single.
Yeah, that's vinyl. I mean, vinyl's coming back, isn't it? Like, vinyl's super popular.
It's back in a big way, and we couldn't. I doubt we could afford to finance an album, but I'm sure we could. Get a couple of tracks recorded and put it out on a vinyl single. So that might be the next thing. I'm not quite sure, but that would be for off in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably easier nowadays to buy a vinyl record player than to buy a CD player. So
yeah, like I said, we're going to have these CDs soon, and we'll try and sell a few, and give a few out or whatever. But
I'll buy one when I come to the gig. I'm going to be at the gig, so I'll buy one from you. So I still love a CD, but if you do the vinyl as well, hey, look, I'll grab a vinyl too. So
yeah. Well, I think for future releases, I think vinyl might be the go.
Now, you've got the gig coming up on the 11th of May. I mean, which part do you really love the live performance? Do you love the recording process? I mean, what's your do you have a preference, or you're sort of happy with both? I mean, what do you like about the performing? Getting to perform live.
Oh, look, I really enjoyed the playing live. That's that's kind of where it's at for me. And just more broadly than that, just getting out and seeing other bands and meeting people from other bands and that sort of thing. That's really what I've enjoyed about it. In the last sort of 10 years or so, since I came back from a very long way off. So that's kind of where it's at for me. Recording, I mean, it's great to be able to do it, and to have something done professionally, I think it sort of legitimises what you're doing. But for me, the main thing is getting out there and trying to play, which is a bit of a struggle because it's hard to get the opportunities. And
there's not always the venues around that you want, or
there's not many venues. And obviously, we're not a cover band, so if we were out there playing Oz rock covers or pop dance tunes, I mean, you're probably playing every weekend if you wanted, but it's not like that when you play originals that no one's heard of. It's quite different. So, and just getting to know other bands, and sometimes getting invited on bills with them or vice versa. It can be it's a bit of a hustle, but hopefully we can play a bit more often than we currently do.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a nice community. Like whenever we go to a gig and there's a few of the bands, everybody's really supportive, and I mean, looks out for each other and hangs out with each other, and it is actually a good community that goes to all these gigs. I mean, you and I are always running into each other at gigs and stuff as well. So
that's right. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's just nice to, sometimes often I go out and see a band. It's on my own, and these days there's every chance I'll bump into someone I know, which is quite nice.
I mean, you and I met at a gig, right? So
yeah. That's right.
I've met a lot of friends at gigs. Like, you sort of run into people and you start talking, and it just happens, right? I've got friends that I've got one particular friend I met at a gig, and we're still friends like 25 odd years later. And we just happened to start talking at a gig, and it was like, and now she's a really good friend. It's just funny how these things happen. So.
Yeah. No, it's good like that. Yeah.
But it's good, No, it's great that we've got this. Yes, there might not be a lot of venues, but at least we've got a few that you guys can go and go and play at. So. Yeah,
and looking into the future, it'd be nicer to try and play some slightly bigger venues or just different venues. Jump on other support slots for other bands, maybe. Try and do that just to do something a bit different. So. Yeah.
So what's your favourite song on the album? So the album's called Modern Age by MARC WITH A SEA. It's got 7 tracks. It's out now. We should mention it was released yesterday. You can get it on Bandcamp, Spotify and Apple Music. Do you have a favourite track? I suppose that's like asking what your favourite child is maybe. But
I really like Modern Age, the title track. It's a song that I almost can't remember it being written. It just kind of happened. Because some songs you agonise over certain parts, and like for example, "Winnie in My Pocket," which is another one on this EP. That's quite an old song, but I just remember for a very long time I just couldn't work out how I was going to approach the bass line, and it was quite I tried all these different ways, and I ended up settling on something. But so some songs are quite tricky in that way, but Modern Age, I think Mark just played it to us, and we all joined in, and before we knew we had a song, and it's I think it's a good representation of us and what Mark writes. It's quite an upbeat sort of poppy, rocking sort of guitar song, and I just think it's quite catchy and fun to play too. So
So what happens now? Like, you've released, Mark with a Sea have released an album. Like, that's a pretty cool thing to be able to say as a band, hey, we've got an album out. I mean, what's next? You've got the gig, but is there going to be more songwriting, more... what happens now?
Well, I mean, I should mention that the biggest difference, or the biggest thing that's happened to us, apart from releasing the EP, was we've taken on a new member. We had the lead guitarist, Cole, who plays on this, left the band towards the end of last year. So we were sort of played a few times as a three-piece, and we're considering continuing on as that, but we decided we needed that extra sort of sound in there. So,
yep.
So a guy named Nicholas, who hasn't long come to Australia from Chile.
Okay.
He's joined the band on lead guitar, so that's great. So it'll be interesting. At the moment, obviously, he's focused on learning about catalogue and getting ready for this gig. But
oh yeah, that must be hard for him. Like, he's just coming into this new band, and like, bloody hell, I've got to learn all these songs. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but he's done a great job of it. So it'll be interesting once once this gig is done. We'll get together and maybe work on some new things. So it'll be interesting to see how that sort of process works with the.
Cool. So he's slotted in quite well. He's
yeah, really well. Yeah, and like I said, once this is done, look, it'd just be nice to try and get out and play a bit more often. At the moment we're probably averaging a gig every few months, so it'd be nice to do something a little more frequent than that if we can.
Well, maybe for your 51st birthday next year, Richard, you can do another party.
Yeah. And looking to some more recording in the near future, as time and funds permit. But there's no, as I say, there's no shortage of material. We've got plenty there. So so looking to do some more recording and as mentioned, maybe do a 7-inch single just for the hell of it. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
So Mark with the Sea are playing Mosh Pit on May the 11th, Saturday, May the 11th, from 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock. It's what, $10, $15 or something?
No, it's actually free.
Oh, free.
So I've because as you mentioned, it's my birthday, so I've sort of piggybacked off the EP launch. So it's also kind of a birthday celebration. So I'm covering the cost, so there's no cost to get in.
Awesome. Thank you. Happy birthday, Richard. That's your That's your gift to us. Like,
well, that's right. I didn't feel comfortable inviting people to come along, if they had to pay to get in. So that's what I've done. I mean, the alternative might have been put some money on the bar, perhaps. But anyway, so I've done that. And yeah, look, I mean, speaking of community and whatnot, got two great bands from. I like to think of it as the Triple R sort of community.
Yes.
Bands get played on yours.
Exactly. Mine and Big Daddy K Sydney Sounds program. Yes.
Yeah. So we've got the Langlands who, they're a great rocking band. And I actually play in a cover band with Mr. Hack Nudstrom, the lead singer. So they'll be along, and also the Men from Uncle, who
amazing band.
I've gotten to know especially Steve from the band, and heard. I don't think they've ever officially recorded, but I know Big Daddy K plays.
Men from Uncle, they've never gone into a studio and recorded an album, but Big Daddy K does have a bootleg that he recorded at a gig from like 20 years ago, but there's no actual like recordings from a studio from them. No, they're just like a live band. They don't do recordings. But yeah, an amazing live band. So I
think they're too busy being international secret agents.
They are. Yes, they've got no time to go into a studio. They're actually playing this coming Friday night as well at Marrickville Bowling Club with White Knuckle Fever. That's
right. Yeah, look, I'm really going to try and get along to that. I have. So I've seen them play a few times, and they're a lot of fun. So it'll be a great rocking afternoon. It's free. It's it's open to everyone.
And it's your birthday, so we'll have to come along and all buy you a beer.
Well,
for your birthday.
Well, we're going on last, so if everyone does that, I might be pretty bad. So I might just need to control that a little bit. Yeah, look.
And I know your other band, 1978. You're playing as well soon, I think.
Yeah, well, we've sort of lucked into a couple of good gigs at playing Manning Bar at Sydney Uni. So we did one there. We supported from the Jam. The Jam.
Jam sort of.
I thought they were a tribute band, but then I realised they actually include Bruce Foxton, the original Jam bass player. So they're not quite a tribute or cover act, but So yeah, we supported them about a month ago, or
Yeah.
6 weeks ago. That was awesome in front of the full house there. So that was something different for us. We're used to playing in front of a handful of people in smaller venues, and on Friday the 3rd of May, we're supporting the Skids, a Scottish punk band from the late 70s, early 80s. We got the support slot for that as well. So
And where are they playing out? Where's that? At the
Manning
Bar as well?
Manning
Okay,
Bar,
cool.
Sydney Uni, yeah.
And then I think I saw something on Facebook that you're doing a gig at Staves Brewery with 1978, or?
No, actually, we're actually playing it back at Mosh Pit.
Oh, okay, Mosh Pit.
The EPL Watch, yeah. So the 18th of, I mustn't overlook that. The following week, I'm back in punk rock mode, and 18th of May, we're playing there with Doll Parts and Brits and Pieces, a couple of other great cover bands.
You're going to be a busy man for the next few weeks, Richard.
Yeah, I've got a few rehearsals and a fair bit of practice coming along, but that's good. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I will let you get going because I know you're on a weekend away with your family. So,
oh, that's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to play a couple of tracks now. We'll let Richard go, but we're going to play a couple of tracks off the new EP that just got launched today. So from MARC WITH A SEA and. Richard from MARC WITH A SEA, we've been chatting to him, and Richard is actually going to be a guest in 2 weeks' time, May the 4th, on Big Daddy K's Sydney Sounds program. So you're going to be with Big Daddy K from 2 o'clock, and I'm actually joining the show that day from about 3 o'clock because Big Daddy K and I are going to do a bit of a joint show for a couple of hours from 3 till 5. So I'm going to join Kev for an hour, and he's going to join me for an hour. So I'll get to hang out with you for a little bit that afternoon as well, Richard.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It'll be a fun afternoon. We'll marathon afternoon of radio for Big Daddy K and I, 3 hours of radio each. So
oh, right.
That will be a lot.
Stuff.
We'll be fine.
It'll be fun. I'll help you through. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. No. We'll have snacks and things like that. We'll be fine. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend away up on the Central Coast. I hope the weather is nicer and that you can go for a surf tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
And we should say hello to the other members of the band because I think Mark's listening.
Mark, Marty, the drummer, and Nicholas, our lead guitarist. Yeah.
Cool. Well, hello to Marty, Nicholas, and Mark from MARC WITH A SEA. We'll see you all at the gig on May 11th at Mosh Pit. Big thanks to Richard for taking some time out of your weekend away up on the Central Coast to chat. It's been good to chat, and I will. I'll see you at the gig on Friday night. If not, I will see you on the 4th of May when you come on to do Big Daddy K's show in 2 weeks' time.
Terrific.
So we'll play.
Thank you very much.
MARC WITH A SEA, Modern Age now. See you, Richard. I will see you soon.
Thanks, Natalie.
Bye.
Bye.
Keeping things cool. I love living in the modern age. I just wouldn't survive in a cave. My enemies would roast me on a fire. A terrible kettle in the prehistoric funeral pyre. I like all the robots and the internet, electronic reminders so I won't forget. Do you like a sandwich or a bowl of soup? Dining out with your family in a